Have you ever wondered why it takes around 7 months to travel from Earth to Mars? In this video, we'll explore the key factors behind this approximate duration, but first, subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon. The duration it takes to travel from Earth to Mars can vary depending on several factors, such as the positions of the two planets in their respective orbits around the Sun and the type of mission being conducted. On average, it takes about 7 months to reach Mars from Earth. Here's an explanation of why this duration is typically required. Orbital alignment. The most efficient route for interplanetary travel involves taking advantage of the alignment of Earth and Mars in their orbits around the Sun. This alignment occurs roughly once every 26 months when the planets are in a position that allows for a shorter travel distance and lower energy requirements. Missions are usually launched during these optimal windows to minimize travel time and fuel consumption. Home and transfer orbit. The most common trajectory used for interplanetary missions is known as the home and transfer orbit. It involves launching a spacecraft from Earth on a trajectory that will intersect with Mars' orbit. This transfer orbit is an elliptical path that allows the spacecraft to efficiently transfer from one planet's orbit to the other. The spacecraft enters an elliptical orbit around the Sun that intersects with Mars' orbit, and after several months of coasting through space, it reaches Mars. Travel distance. The average distance from Earth to Mars is about 225 million kilometers, 140 million miles, but this value can change depending on the positions of the two planets during a given launch window. The home and transfer orbit aims to minimize the energy required to travel this distance. However, even with the optimal trajectory, it still takes time for the spacecraft to cover the vast distance between the two planets. Speed and fuel efficiency. The duration of the journey is also influenced by the speed at which the spacecraft can travel and the amount of fuel it carries. Spacecraft are typically launched with sufficient propulsion systems to accelerate them to the required speed for the transfer orbit. Once in space, the spacecraft primarily relies on inertia to continue moving along its trajectory, using small course corrections when necessary. The use of fuel for course corrections is carefully planned to ensure that it is sufficient for the entire mission. It's worth noting that advancements in space travel technology and mission planning may eventually lead to shorter travel times between Earth and Mars in the future.